Like not girls trying to fuck.
Like I said, they wouldn't be shit without some of these big places.
Welcome to this podcast.
People that he don't do what they do. I ain't gonna lie. I'm recording right now. I just started recording, but
yeah, we got recording. That's some funny shit. You gotta represent. What the fuck you represent though?
He representing his paycheck. That's what it is.
Gotta represent. Only Percocet. Man, bro, you don't do this shit. What exactly are you representing?
He representing his paycheck, bro. He don't gotta do it to rap about it, and then when he rap about it, everybody believe he do it. So he keep it going. It's the same as like Beyonce being married to Jay-Z for as long as she's been married to him, and she comes out with a song called "All the Single Ladies." Like,
bro,
all the single ladies, bitch, you married. How you gonna make it?
Don't hit on Lemonade, but hey, Lemonade, come on, man.
I ain't
that was
hating, but the reality
I'm not baiting you. No, you're not hating.
The reality is her fucking fan base and her bread and butter is people who aren't married, and she's married. So why are you feeding some shit that you don't believe in yourself? Like,
hey, at the time she was vetting about she was married, but hey,
she could do what she want to do.
Her man was doing some
woman
things.
Power. I'm every woman, but you doing cocaine and you cracked out.
Oh, Beyonce?
No, I'm talking about I conflated two people at one time, but I was
not they.
Hey, yo, God rest the dead, R.I.P. But Whitney Houston.
Oh, you doing Whitney?
Whitney was at one point. She stood for women, man. All women at one point.
Respect.
Meanwhile, you know what I mean. She wasn't doing what these women thought she was doing with her life. Is what I'm saying.
Oh man,
but
she's always gonna be a goddess, though, man. Whitney. Oof.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Talent overshadows reality. You don't have to be truthful or honest about your lifestyle if you are truthful and honest about a lifestyle. See what I'm saying? You can talk about somebody else's life all day, and you don't have to live that. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah, and back to Molly Percocet. I mean, at the end of the day, he representing for somebody that he ain't. The problem is, for me, is when I see people take drugs because they want to be Future, and he don't do the drugs that they taking, that he telling them to take.
It's like,
like think about the opioid crisis or epidemic, whatever you want to call it. But then think about the music that is like pushed these days. And I remember an artist came out and said, actually it's a Boondocks episode. And it was like, I don't know if you remember Pretty Boy Flizzy.
I don't think I've seen that.
It was funny. It was like a play on.
Was it layered Boondocks? Was it like layered season?
Every episode is layered, but it was like a play on.
I haven't seen like recent Boondocks, man. I've seen like episode. I mean season one through whatever. You know what I'm saying?
They were joking about the Chris Brown shit with Rihanna.
Let me be a Boondocks fan without me knowing anything about it. The title's called Pretty Boy Flizzy. That sounds funny as shit.
But that's funny as shit. It is funny because it's like, and he was trying to school this. Okay. He was trying to school this square dude who was like big on, he was married and he was trying to please his wife all the time, and she got sick of him because he was boring. And it was like he was trying to teach him how to be entertaining, and he was telling him, "Do you know why women love me? It's not just because of my abs. It's not just because of my beautiful face. It's because I'm a fucking bad boy. It's because I sing about doing shit and hitting bitches and doing all of this crazy shit. Man, I don't got to do none of that shit. I'm sick of that shit." But the point that I brought him up for was the fact that he said, I have to do ridiculous shit just to stay in people's faces. Because if I don't, then they're going to pay attention to somebody else. And my whole point of my whole career is to keep people focused on me. So if I can keep saying crazier and crazier shit, people are always going to focus on me. And that's literally the words that Future said. He knows he has to say, Future said out his mouth, I have to say crazy shit to keep people fucking with me. And I'm going to keep saying it to keep people fucking with me.
This is crazy. So, like, bro.
This shit, it's like it's a game at one point, and then it's not a game because...
I just don't get, like, all right, you know, let's go to, like, PC games, like computer games. In the 90s, there was computer games, PC games that were educational, like Oregon Trail, you know what I'm saying? But there's some of the game Lemmings. I don't know if you ever heard of or remember the game Lemmings.
You brought this up before, but that's the only reason.
I want to bring it up again. You know, it's a really relevant, like, this game was, like, popular for, like, maybe, like, a year or two. It was very short-lived. And maybe, like, it wasn't popular for very long because it's a pretty dark fucking game. Yeah. So, like, lemmings, like, are animals in real life that, like, accidentally commit suicide. So, you know what a lemming is?
Bro, we talk all the time and we call people lemmings.
we do, but do you know what a lemming is?
Yeah, I know what a lemming is. It's the same as, like, I talked about this on the pod one time. I talked about the idea that
what is a lemming? Let's clarify for the audience.
Before we get there, I talked about the fact that rabbits know how to kill themselves and break their own neck. If they're scared enough, you see what I'm saying?
That's crazy. They're one of the only animals that can, like, commit suicide if they're scared because, like, they just out of fear they just don't want to, like,
instead of they know the pain.
They just don't want that pain to be eaten. Like, man, fuck that shit. Like,
so they snap their own neck so they don't have to deal with that pain. So it's kind of funny because lemmings,
bro. I'm sorry to cut you off, but like, don't you think, hey, lobsters and crabs? You know, they wish they had that shit. Like, yo, that boiling pot. Like, yo, I wish I could snap my neck, yo. You know what I mean? Like, dog. Like,
not even just a lobster or a crab. Think about being a fish and you know you just got caught on a hook.
Bro, it's a dark conversation. But it's like, if we're like dark medieval times, the king's like, okay, you know what? Ronnie Dale, you're being executed. Fuck you. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Born alive, like, dog. Can you be guilty? Like,
you know, I think
I'll take the guilty. Chop the head off. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's Philadelphia. I might be wrong, and people correct me if I'm wrong. But Philly, I think, just legalized like the first, like they about to have their first execution by, what's they call it? Gun
squad.
By gun squad, right? And they're gonna
no bullshit.
They're gonna shoot the shit out of somebody, basically, and that's the execution.
I mean, it sounds dark, crazy. It's like kind of medieval, but like, yo, there's like worse ways to go. Shit.
There's worse ways to go, but the idea for me that is trippy about it is that somebody's going to be paid to shoot somebody to death.
No, that's really. I don't think it's gonna happen. Like in 2022, like there's no fucking way.
They're about to have the first one. The execution already been scheduled.
It's gonna happen.
Yes, bro. It's officially a part of the Kreatiivez.
But bro, who are the executioners? Like, who gets? What's the job?
That's my
like
question. That's
in
what
America,
I'm saying. Like, how do you get hired to shoot somebody to death?
How do you get hired? And like, bro, in America, like, yo, everything is tracked. Like. Americans are too fucking nosy and curious. They want to know everything. You know what I'm saying?
The weird shit about it to me too is like, you know how much bullets cost right now, and you're gonna waste.
I didn't think, bullets? Bro. I didn't think about that because it's work.
Maybe it's not a lot of bullets. Maybe they're gonna aim good and they're gonna shoot the dude in the head the first time and then just shoot him some more.
Bro, I didn't think about that because like the pandemic, shortage, war.
But then think about this. Think about if somebody did something foul to your family member or a loved one. And then you get to come sit and watch this person get shot to death. Like, are you with it?
Bro,
are you doing it?
I want to make, man. I want to sound dark, and this is really fucked up. Like, man, I want to make jokes about this because, like, this is terrible. But like, no, I mean, like, I'm a little drunk right now, a little tipsy. So, like, man, if this is gonna be on a podcast,
I mean, we both drinking, man. At the end of the day, the reality is the shit is funny, but it's sad at the same time. It's a sad.
It's funny and sad. It's sad, but like, all right, we're in a warp. We're in a pandemic. There are shortages, like material shortages. So, like, you want to do some like archaic. That's the word, archaic.
I mean, I would think lethal.
Hold on, you want to do archaic execution like Fire Squad, right?
I would think.
Hold on, Rondo, you remember this? They got me using like some Civil War era like rifles, right?
Right.
Like, that was the last time we did like execution by Fire Squad, like.
See, you know, what wouldn't trip me out?
Victoria times.
Like, yo,
so are we using like fucking like muskets? You know what I'm saying? Because we gotta save like modern bullets.
But think about it. That's what I'm saying. So, like, are you gonna? Is everybody trained to aim for the head in these executions, or is everybody?
Like, what is the procedure? It's been like 200 years since Fire Squad. It's been like, so what is the modern procedure? That's the really interesting question.
but you heard about the dude who did like the black dude who was allegedly like shooting, like he was an active shooter or whatever, and they killed him with it. They blew him up with a robot.
I didn't hear this story. What story is this?
I don't know the full story, so don't come to me for the facts. But I know for a fact that they blew a nigga up with a robot, bro. Like
a drone, or
he had somebody, like he had hostages and everything, and he had he was like pinned, like he was held up in somewhere or whatever. I think they recovered the hostages and then sent a robot in and ignited that joint and then blew him up with him.
Yeah, I mean,
so that's the new way I thought was going to go through technology. I thought they might the new execution strategy would be death by drone strike or some shit.
Well, I mean, that is new technology. I mean, I just heard the news. U.S. I mean, they're sending a lot of arms to Ukraine for the war effort. They don't want to send troops to try to stay like.
Did you see what the UN decided about Russia?
But hold on, this is some scary shit though. Like, hold on, I'm neutral. I'm not on any side. I'm not political. I'm not anything.
You copping the police.
No, I ain't scared to like take a stance.
I mean, it's one of them times, bro, when I'm kind of happy and sad at the same time to be American.
If this has ever heard Arthur Anderson, he speaks his damn mind. I praise him.
You know how it goes.
But hey, here's what I'm saying. Okay, some scary shit. When I've been playing Call of Duty for all my damn life, and you're playing with all these like perks, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or like you're playing Xbox or like PlayStation, like Tom Clancy, like you know what I'm saying? Like all these all these fucking weapons. You're playing these games. Like, oh, dog,
for
these
me,
shit
that's
really
why
exists.
I don't like Call of Duty these days. Is because it's too much extra shit. If it was just gun and gun, it would be way more fun to me.
You know what's really fun, bro? You know what's really fun video game? It's a Tom Clancy. What was it like? Splinter Cell. Yeah. Oh, bro, the whole series was dope. It was an older game.
I played it a few times on PS2.
You played Splinter Cell? Yo, bro.
On PS2, yeah.
PS2, okay. I'm the Xbox PS2, okay. But, bro, these type of weapons really exist. Like Black Ops, they have, like, they'll shoot a fucking, like, you want to, like, invade a village, okay? And there's, like, soldiers. You shoot, like, a sticky device. It'll stick to a wall and make, like, a noise, and, like, they'll, like, go to it.
Yeah, it's like
it's a grenade.
See, but think about this, though.
It's a real grenade. Like, yo. There's, like, some shit like, like, dog, like, with technology we have, you can do some, like, straight up sneaky Black Ops shit, like, blow up motherfuckers, like, remotely, like,
you could do this shit with a 3D printer, though, bro. Like, this shit is crazy.
Bro, yeah.
So, for me, though, like I said, the crazy shit for me, of course they're not going to spend that much money on an inmate, but the crazy shit for me is just the idea of a human, like I said, being paid to shoot somebody else to death. And you know, executions, depending on the crime, you know, they have viewings. So people get to sit and watch these people be executed, and you have to sit here and watch them. Like, what is going on when somebody says, yo, because this person committed whatever crime they committed, not saying that they right or wrong, you committed a crime and you're sentenced.
Here's the next question.
You're sentenced to death, and the family of the victim gets to sit and watch you be shot to death.
Well, here's the next question. I believe when you're sentenced to execution, I believe you have correct me if I'm wrong. I believe
you have rights.
No, yeah, you're right. I believe you have right on.
You got rights to die and have a last meal, maybe.
Here's the real question. I don't know if the judge says the plaintiffs, or you know what I'm saying, the person who offended. Okay, I don't know who has the actual rights, but I believe at the actual end, somebody has the right to determine what type of execution is set forth. But I believe the person who's getting executed might have they might have the right to choose. They might be look. All right. No, bro. If I'm
correct,
not
saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying if you're saying that.
Here's the person. Okay, they commit
who the fuck is going to pick getting shot to death?
Bro. Seriously, somebody might pick that.
Why would you pick it though? Think about the idea. I'm saying, are you being shot in the head first? Are you being shot?
Bro. Okay, so
if I was being shot in the head, then I would choose it.
Here are the legal execution. Okay? We got lethal injection. Okay, bro. There's some people that are scared of fucking needles. They're scared of chemicals, medicine, yo. And lethal injection.
What percentage of those people are on death row?
Rarely go wrong. But and then you got bro, you got an electric chair? Are you serious? No. Bro, if you're an electric chair in a firing squad, I'll take the firing squad.
Of course I'll take the firing squad. Everybody's going to take the firing squad. But the thing about it is what I'm saying. What's the procedure, bro? Because if you fucking shoot me in my leg first, then I gotta go through. I gotta go through bullet after bullet. I gotta die by bullet after bullet after bullet.
Man,
my nigga, no, shoot me in the head.
Man, I can't guarantee it. I can't bank on it. Okay, this is just an idea or a guess. But I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you're right,
bro. I'm pretty sure the motherfuckers they got who are on the squad are sharpshooters, and they're going for the fucking head.
But if you're going for the head, then what the fuck is you need a whole shooting squad for? One dude can do that. One dude can pop me in my head and I'm gone. What do you need a firing squad for?
Hey, honestly, you might not need a squad. Hey, bro.
But that's the law that was passed. That's the fucking new shit.
Rondo, you just gave me an epiphany. We might have just invented something. Bro, oh shit, this is a dark fucking conversation.
I'm about to say, I ain't inventing nothing to execute nobody.
No, bro, hey. Let's talk about. You ever watch Mythbusters?
Yep.
Man, I love.
The funny thing about Mythbusters is they a fucking myth.
Yo, bro,
Mythbusters, they on some fake phony shit too.
No, I'm not trying to throw the side of some of the bus, but when it comes to a fire squad, bro, you could just be in a shooting range where there's a robot. Okay. We live in the day and age of everything's bro. There's fucking toys.
Think about this.
There's toys. They don't work anymore, but there's robot toys.
No, I'm saying. So you're saying, if somebody did something wrong to you, or a family member or whatever, and they were sentenced to being executed, that you would sit there and watch this person be shot to death by a robot? But that's what I'm saying. Somebody's sitting somewhere.
I'm not. Whoa. We on two different topics. I'm saying. Well,
that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the whole thing. So the whole thing is, the victims get to sit and watch this shit, and you're gonna. Who would sign up to sit and watch?
I'm not quite sure. I wouldn't. I'm a pacifist personally.
I would rather. Out of all of those executions, I would rather watch somebody just be lethally injected, because then that's all right.
I'm a funny guy. I'm a counselor. I grew up in Square Park, DC. I've seen a lot of violence. I've seen a lot of blood.
I don't want to see nobody get shot or burnt alive by electrocution. So, the lethal injection is the most ethical for me as a.
I get no, bro.
Even that is crazy because I don't want to.
It's dark.
Yeah.
Lethal injection, man. No, that shit's dark, man.
There's too much faulty shit with that too.
Sometimes go wrong. There's convulsions, seizures. That shit's not always smooth. You know what I'm saying? Bro, bro, this is a dark conversation.
Smooth.
Hey, bro, it's a dark conversation. Okay, it's a dark conversation.
It's a real conversation.
But yo, if I'm in a position of like the judge, like, all right, like, hey, I'm in a position. Man, this is a dark conversation, but I'm just gonna throw us out there.
We don't know the laws, by the way. Like, if we knew the laws and the procedures, then we would be talking. I'm
in the court of law, judge. Like, hey, man, I've heard my aliases. I'm not using my alias. Hey, Frank. I'm just gonna say, I'm refer myself as Frank. Hey, Frank. All right, look, you're guilty. They're gonna kill your ass. Okay, you can do lethal injection, electric chair, or firing squad. I'm gonna do firing squad. I don't know about you. I might do anything. Like, I might not. Yeah.
If I had choices, then I would choose.
Bro. Hey. All we know is I'm gonna crack this joke to the judge. Like, yo, we gonna fire squad. Were they sharpshooters? Were they? You got a former Navy SEAL. Bet. I'm gonna do a fire squad.
Oh my God, you crazy.
Yo,
but think about that.
You know what I'm saying? You got hey. You know what I'm saying?
So
the fire squad.
now we get into the.
You're probably 50. You're 50 feet away. You know what I'm saying? 50 feet away.
So think about this. Now we get into the fatalistic mentality.
Hey, they probably got sharpshooters. You know what I'm saying? Yo, bro.
But now
one of them is a former Navy SEAL. Yeah, hey, I'm gonna go with the former Navy SEAL. 50 feet away, no crosswind. No, that's gonna be an easy deal.
I feel that. But now we get into that.
This is a really dark conversation.
Now we get into that fatalistic mentality too. But
no. But we're laughing about, like, they just legalized firing squad again, and but this is my questioning, and this is my provocation to the audience. If we, you know what I'm saying?
But that's my whole thing with.
It must obviously be like,
think about this, though. Think about this. Think about what I'm.
They're not. It's not just volunteers. Like, hey. Do you know how to handle a gun? Do you want to, like, volunteer do this? It's not jury duty.
But think about this,
I'm sure it's fucking sharpshooters, bro.
Think about this,
They're not gonna eat your shit.
Think about this.
It's gonna be like,
Think about the reality.
10 motherfuckers, like 8 out of 10 is gonna hit your skull.
Think about the reality of what I'm about to say, okay?
That's a dark fucking statement.
Think about what I'm about to say.
Oh, please continue.
Okay. The reality of humans deciding that another human should die because of something they did on the earth,
okay,
and then deciding how that person dies, or even whether they let them choose or not. The act of carrying out someone's death.
Damn, bro, yeah. I'm getting
for
me,
now. It's just crazy.
It's crazy.
We, as all of humanity, have gotten to a point where we decide who lives and who dies based on their actions.
Yeah. I mean, but we've been there since
exactly
the days of the Bible.
Exactly.
Times kings, like,
exactly, and I don't think it was right even then. I don't think it was right even then. Because the problem is, for me, is like, how dark is the person who wants to see somebody who did something to them die?
Whew. So,
you see what I'm saying? Like somebody did something to me. Somebody did something to me, and I want to see that person die.
I know you're recording right now, and man, I want to go.
Don't punk out now.
I ain't punking out. No. But bro,
it's just sick to me. It's sick to me to think that somebody.
I want to delve into religion, but bro, I told you, but man, I bought a King James Bible. I've been reading my King James Bible lately.
And you with it now because you read your King James? You all right now?
I wouldn't say I'm all right, but bro, I mean, like, man, I feel it's taken me a long time to find the right Bible. You know what I'm saying? I got the red letter. You know what I'm saying? I start with the Book of Matthew, like a lot of good Christians have advised. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm not gonna go into a spiritual fucking thing. Ooh, Lord forgive me. I just said spiritual fucking. So
hey, it takes time, man. It takes time.
I'm definitely not on the religious tip right now. Lord forgive me. But
hey, man.
No, all jokes aside. I forgot why I referenced that. I want to talk about my King James, but
we've been here at this point where I brought up the fact that people like the idea of executing somebody because of a crime. And the fact that, like I said, you want somebody. Like, think about the hatred you have in your heart when you want someone to die.
Lord forgive me. That's what. Let me tell my John. I want someone John the Baptist. John the Baptist.
Think about this though. Think about this. Think about the hatred you have to have in your heart when you want someone to die.
But how did John the Baptist die? You know what I'm saying? I want his head on a platter. Like, damn, that's really messed up.
Yeah, but think about what Jesus went through on the cross.
That's messed up too.
They beat the shit out of that nigga for like a minute.
No, but hold on. What John the Baptist went through was terrible. You know, head on planet, like his head, he was decapitated. Okay, but no,
even decapitation is a little better than what they did to Jesus.
But what Jesus went through was way worse. Absolutely. Right.
Then they stabbed him with a spear to make sure he was dead.
Bro, there's no comparison.
To being hung on a cross. Like, and he wasn't alone. He was on the cross next to two people who they wasn't even murderers, bro. Think about this though. They wasn't even murderers. They just stole some shit.
I referenced John the Baptist though for like the comment of the reason why he died though. Ultimately, there was one of the queen said, "I want his head on a platter."
Right. That's what I'm saying though. Think about the hatred you have to have in your heart. To want somebody to die.
The craziness is the power of a word. One person in power can have your head on a on a platter.
But that's back to the fatalistic mentality. I want to bring it back to what we started this conversation with.
And I'm done with and thank you for getting back to that. The fatalistic mentality. That's what, like, bro, like, we're in a... I want to talk over you. I apologize.
You not.
But like,
I'm listening.
But like, yeah, like that's what it is. Like, we're at a point where like somebody gets upset, they got out their feelings. I want their head on a platter, and somebody gets executed, and then the ripple effects of harm. Yeah. Because somebody's upset. It's like, dog.
Just think about the trauma, though, of knowing somebody died. And then think about the trauma of knowing you decided that person died because of something they did. And then think about the trauma of seeing that. Like, think about the people who you... Like, I would not want to be around somebody who watched the execution, bro. Like, I don't want to know you, dude. Like, I don't want to...
Yeah, like, man. I feel you.
I feel like you're spreading. I feel like you're spreading.
You're not judgmental.
But think about this. I feel like you're spreading the same darkness and hatred that you are trying to quote unquote eradicate when you kill this one person. It's like it's still spreading because think about the job, like I said, of having that job where you get to kill people for a living.
You
remember? You know who Robin Harris is?
Oh my God, man! Hold on, Baby's kids, comedian. Are you talking about?
Robin Harris, Baby's kids.
Baby, oh my! What about that? He's all time. Are you kidding me? Yes.
So Robin Harris has a joke.
Robin Harris.
Yeah, Robin.
No N at the end, my man. I love you, brother.
He has a joke. He has a joke where he says in California. They said one of the reasons we don't have no death penalty is because we can't find anybody that's willing to flick the switch. And he said, shit, I'll flick it. He's like, everything death. I don't care. Nigga, you stole something? He said, overseas, you go over there and you steal something. He said, the judge don't want to hear nothing. He said, I ain't mean nothing. He said, just show him the hand you stole it with, and that's it. And he said, they ain't got no crime issues over there. He said, look, I'm willing to do it. He said, shit, they ain't asked me. And I get it because that's an American way to think. That's an American way to think that it's like death doesn't mean anything to us, bro. Not here. Not in this country. Not the country who's responsible for most of the death.
That's a great excerpt. That's a great excerpt.
The country who's responsible for most of the death on the earth. We don't give a fuck about death. We don't care. We act like we care, but we really don't, bro.
Yeah.
Especially when it's not us. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
And we do it to each other all the time, so it's just weird. Like I said, I mean, it's not even weird. It's just, for me, I guess I'm just not an American, or I'm a different type of person, because I'm not that infatuated. I don't think death is the answer. I just don't see it as my place to impart that on somebody else. And the same with the dudes in the streets that you say kill people for money or kill people for vengeance or respect or whatever. For me, certain things just don't mean that much to me to take somebody's life over it.
Yeah, okay.
Like, even if you did something sick and twisted, at the end of the day, like I said, I don't know what to do with you, but I'm not going to say that I'm going to be the guy who says you die and live. You see what I'm saying?
To play devil's advocate, 20 years I've worked in social work, and
he's like, it's people that need to die.
No, that's dark. No, bro, don't get twisted. I've worked with killers, and but I've worked with killers, but don't get twisted. Like, that didn't want to be one. So
we getting somewhere deep now.
Well, I mean,
that's the same as that fatalistic mentality. Like, if you look around and you sum up life to the point where you feel like nothing matters, whether you live or die, and things are all fixed and it's all a fucking game anyway.
Rondo, I joke all the time about me.
Think about the mental health state of a mass shooter.
Bro. I'm a time traveler. I time travel all the time. Let's time travel. I'm not joking, but let's time travel.
Okay.
Sierra Leone, Liberia conflict, Civil War. Late 90s, around the millennium. You know what I'm saying? That was a refugee crisis. It was terrible. And, man, child soldiers. When an army invades and they don't have enough soldiers, there's children of the other villages. And, man,
Yeah.
You got one choice. The soldier's going to shoot the kid next to you. Could be your brother, could be your friend. Right in the head. Shoot the person next to you. You can join us, or you can be the next
you
one.
Talking about Lost with Mr. Echo?
There you go. And that shit was not... And that's Lost, exactly. And you know what? I'm a big Lost fan. And that shit... That scene, man, made me... Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. I work with cats in that situation.
Right.
That are good men now. But as children, they were forced to do something. Are they evil?
No.
Oh.
See, but that's the thing. Like, what is...
But man, when your parents can't protect you, there's a gun to your head, murder someone, or live.
But think about being sentenced. Think about being sentenced to execution.
What choice do you have?
But think about being sentenced to an execution, bro, and you're a murderer, and that's why you're being sentenced to that. What happened to everybody, anyone who gets to a point where they take another person's life? You see what I'm saying? There's something wrong with anybody that gets to that point where they're willing to do that. There's something wrong with that person, bro. And they gone through something that makes this okay in their mind.
Rondo, I mentioned this many times before about Alice in Wonderland going down a rabbit hole. Keep going down the rabbit hole, Alice.
Hold on,
and you'll find...
Hold on one second. Yo, all right. But yeah, you talking about Alice. I wonder.
If you keep going down the rabbit hole, Alice. We see puppeteers in life and society. There's always somebody pulling the strings above you.
Yeah. I just watched SpongeBob the movie recently, right?
Before you sorry, let's really just drive this point home.
They were running from I'm gonna just say this. They were running from a booth.
In social work, you're either pawns or puppeteer. There's the string pullers, The puppeteers or your pawns?
See, in SpongeBob, they was running from a boot, right? And they just knew that this guy was the biggest, scariest guy ever, and they was running from him, and he was about to kill him and step on them with his big boot. And then a bigger boot came and stepped on him, and then a bigger boot came and stepped on that guy. So it's like, you see what I'm saying? It's always a bigger boot that you're under.
There's always a bigger fish. There's always a bigger predator.
Right. Is that nature, or is that? I think that's kind of the nature of life, though. That's the circle of life, right?
Well, no. Unfortunately, we are now. Unfortunately, we're in society. Modern society now is the sharks, the predators, have evolved. They really are. Have evolved to they can control the minnows and the herd. The herd.
They can control their source of food now.
Much more easier than they have before.
Oh, I see.
Much more easy before.
Yeah. It's the same idea of how we get our meat, right? The meat.
In the 80s and 90s, you try to scare the herd, ain't shook. DC and Tacoma Park, ain't shook.
So you actually had to hunt back then?
The cocaine crack epidemic decimated.
But that's somebody wising up and figuring out a more nuclear way to get, kill more than one bird with one stone. So and think about the idea that they call a crack rock a stone. So like, all right, so we used to hunt for food as humans, right? We used to go out and have to face other predators and compete for food and survival. And now we just breed food for survival. So it's kind of that same idea to where it's like, I'm going to feed this person whatever I want to eat, and then I'll just eat them eventually.
So, yeah, I mean, I got to be quiet for a second because I'm outside in the country and the noise travels outside when you're cold.
Yeah, it's extra quiet out there in the cold.
I'm taking a quick bone hit real quick, you know what I'm saying? Gotta get my mind right. I got a nice little indica hybrid. I think it's cheesecake.
Oh, I'm about to get me some wedding cake myself.
Ooh, wedding cake, okay.
Some wedding cake. I'm gonna do some wedding cake, some gelato, and then I'm gonna do what's the other shit? I'm gonna get a watermelon one, and then I'm gonna try to get
what watermelon? Okay, damn.
I mean, but that's the vape shit. You gotta. I might put you onto some vape shit when I get out there because the vape is what once I got to Cali, the vape is all I'm with now because I don't. It's no mess. It's no smoke for real. It's just all vapor. It's just like I'm trying to tell you, one hit of a vape, bro, and you gonna be high just like you hit one bong rip. You know what I mean? But a little bit past that because it's just concentrated. THC. Bro, I do like smoking still, but that shit.
Bro, I like what you're talking about. I ain't just talking shit. I don't care. Like anybody hears from the audience. I'm not being arrogant. I've never got a high in my life. No, nobody can get me high.
Yeah, bro, but I ain't gonna lie to you. When I was smoking, look, when we were smoking, right? I was like confused. I was like, bro, what the fuck is in his weed? Bro. Because I wasn't getting higher either, though. It's like
in 1992, 93, when I first started smoking.
You ever been to California?
I haven't been to California. A lot of cats have told me you come there.
You ain't never been high in your life. You can go to California and you can get high, bro. What are you talking about?
Bro. I've smoked shit from California, okay?
Yeah, whatever. You smoked some shit somebody told you was from California.
A blunt to my head, like the highest gas. 30,
all right.
35%
I got a question for you. Go ahead.
Finish with a thin rope of hash. By the way, Moroccan hash. I get, you know what I'm saying? I got connections to DC.
Yeah, whatever niggas call it out there. Whatever niggas call it.
Now take hash. No. Say from Morocco.
Whatever niggas say.
A thin rope of Moroccan hash with shattered diamonds. What the fuck you want to put on my fucking J?
Yeah, whatever.
I'll smoke my fucking head.
Whatever.
And I'll be talking to you just like that right now. Like, hey, I'm doing fine.
No, I hear you, right? And I'm not saying that you lying or whatever. What I'm about to say is this though. let's go back to the time when we were smoking together. That time when we were smoking together, I smoked that first J.
What were we smoking?
Because I was sober. I don't know. You had whatever plugs you had, and at the time, you know, it was. I think it was medical.
It might have been forbidden fruit. It might be my favorite. Like it was some.
But no, that's exactly what I look. But I'm about to look. Forbidden fruit is my favorite too. The funny thing is, forbidden fruit is my favorite, but I only like it when I'm smoking. But I only like it when I'm smoking the vape shit. I don't like it when I'm smoking the blunt.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's got great flavor. Flavor on that.
So look, you saw me smoke back to back to back. You think I was getting high?
I remember that. Nah, you wasn't. Nah, you. Yeah.
Exactly, and that's for me. When I was on the East Coast, that's how it would always be until I got to California. Right?
The East Coast not the same as California. You're right. I
got to California and I actually got high. You see what I'm saying? I saw.
Okay.
And it's not no knock to DC weed or nothing.
No.
The thing is, it has to go through so much to get to you. So when it gets to you, you're gonna be the same high every time. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, look, I'm not knocking. Like Cali has got it on lock. I'm not saying that. I'm not arguing that.
It's
point.
Not even just California. Colorado got some good shit because
anywhere.
Think about this.
Anywhere
where it's legal, anywhere where it's been legal for a long time, people are gonna perfect.
But hold on, it's all about the climate. Colorado, Denver,
it's not just the climate, bro. I'm talking about say you can be on the East Coast and you can have some shit from Cali.
Bro, it is about the climate.
Think about this though. I know it's about the climate. It's all about the climate.
California.
Think about this though.
Oregon goes.
Listen to what I'm about to say. You can say it's about the climate, and that's true, but it's only about the climate if you're in that climate. Because, like I'm saying, if you could have some Cali shit, I had Cali shit on the East Coast, and it was always better than the other shit I got. But the reason that it wasn't better than something from Cali is because it has to go through so much of bullshit to get to me that when it gets to me, it's not the same anymore. In Cali, in the climate, when it's fresh out the dirt, my dude.
I hear your point.
Ain't nothing like that. And then look, this is the thing too. I will not be surprised if you go to Cali, smoke some shit from Cali, and you still don't get high. That is like for me. That is just the reality that you is a real nigga. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing about me.
But yeah, I'm just saying, this is a relative conversation.
Because look, I've been to Cali. I was in Cali, and I was smoking certain shit, and certain shit I smoked, I was like, yo, is this even weed? Because I don't even feel the high. Like I feel like I'm just high off life right now. I feel like I'm high off the fact that I'm by the beach and I can go to the beach in 5 minutes if I fucking want to. That was what was making me high, and the fact that I was walking outside with shorts on every day, that was fucking what was making me high. It wasn't the weed. The weed made it seem like, oh, I'm smoking Cali weed. No, man. Smoke some real Cali shit in another place, and you gonna see the damn difference.
Hey, bro. I ain't never been to Cali, so I'm not gonna try to act like a Billy Badass. You know, I'm in DC.
High before, like.
No. I ain't never been high before.
Yo, put some hash on it. Smoke a moon rock in California. I bet you don't come back.
I've been heard. I smoked a moon rock from Cali here. I smoked.
Exactly.
I smoked it, and it did not impress me.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Look, I've dabbed over here on the East Coast. I've dabbed.
Bro. I'm not knocking it. Bro, I do not want to sound arrogant.
Not knocking. We know you're not knocking it. You just talking from the East Coast. That's the point.
No, I'm not talking East Coast. No. I got a weird autistic schizophrenic brain in a hummingbird.
That's my point, bro. It ain't got nothing to do with the weed, bro. It's who you are.
It's who you are. It's who you. That's
because
my conversation.
The people. This is the problem I used to have because I was on the East Coast, right? I was on the East Coast. I was on the. I
need the heaviest indica. Give me the heaviest indica. But think about it. Still not slow me down.
It's who you are. It's who you are. So think about. We was both on the East Coast, right? And we would smoke something that somebody else right next to us smoked, and they would react differently than we did. They would be done. They couldn't even function, and we'd be sitting here still having a conversation, still doing whatever we would do as if we didn't smoke anything. And that's the point. It's like when you get to California, you get to see.
Hey, really quick. Sorry to cut you off. But based upon the point you just said, there's a really important topic of marijuana and the counterculture of.
We're gonna get off of this fast soon, but go ahead.
Really quick. No, I swear, this is relevant. I promise.
I ain't saying it's not. I just don't want to talk about weed that long.
we don't have to.
Because I can't fucking smoke, and this shit is really pissing me off.
Oh, man, my bad, man.
You good. Do your thing. Say what you got to say, man.
I'm gonna be busy. I'm gonna visit you soon, and we gonna be doing something.
Do what we gotta do. Right. Facts. But
until then, it's a really important topic because pardon me. The reason why there's so much like division and fighting, or not a lack of understanding around like weed. Okay, I believe that like it's like 50-50. Like some people who try smoking marijuana the first time get paranoid, get sketchy, and feel like it's bad. And then the other half, like it's like it regulates your brain, your mind, wherever it is. You know what I'm saying?
You actually understand.
But here's the divide, right? The 50% of if it doesn't work for, they end up being like police officers, lawmakers, politicians, lawyers, and their
weirdos.
Perspective. Oh, not weirdos.
I'm fucking with you. I'm being funny.
No, you're not. But no. The perspective is like this is why like society's crumbling. It's like if it affects me one way, it's bad, and you're the other side. You say it's good. I don't understand it. It's bad for me. So fuck you, and I'm gonna fight you. But it's like, dog. I like advocated this when I went to high school. When I was one of the biggest fucking weed dealers. I'm not gonna say what high school will do. I don't give a fuck about. I'll disclose that. I don't give a fuck. When I pump fucking weed, I knew motherfuckers who never smoked before. Like, hey, I'm gonna use my hey. Let me get an H from you. Like, nah, dog, it's not for you. Well, no. Hey, I heard you're the man. I heard you got the shit. I'm gonna try it.
You sound like a police officer.
No. They're not police officers.
I'm being funny.
Bro, when I was pushing green in the 90s, I tried to be ethical. I really did.
Are you talking too much?
Honestly.
Let's get to the story.
I'm talking too much. I don't give a fuck. Because, that was in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? And when I was pushing the 90s, hey, I wasn't like Kingpin.
Right.
But at the end of the day,
they're going to use that to denigrate anything else you said on this whole podcast.
Bro, I grew up at the Cone Park. You know what I'm saying? Cone Park, D.C. You know what I'm saying? The 80s and 90s. And pushing and smoking green is a lot more ethical and a lot more on point than the other game that happened at that time.
Yeah.
No judgment, no judgment passed because
you could have been pushing some white girls.
I absolutely could have been. I could have been caught in that game very fucking easily.
Yeah, because there wasn't no money in weed at the time.
It wasn't about money, man. Yo, me was talking about like Maple Avenue, man.
Snitch.
I ain't snitching. I ain't saying no names.
I'm joking. I'm being funny. Damn.
But shit, man. Maple Avenue.
Really trained. Like he react right. He like
to go party like Maple Avenue. Yo, everybody knows like in the 80s. Not yo, yeah, man. It's called party. Shit. It was bad out there, and
think about funny Mark.
I know a lot of friends that got caught in the game that they did not want to be in the game. They got forced. You got you know what I'm saying?
Right.
11, 12-year-old kids, you know what I'm saying? Like something happens and like they gotta hustle.
That's why I fuck with the
Hey, bro, but like there's nobody understands how fucked up the game is.
But grandmas,
great grandmas, on the people in your neighborhood that you love, it was always like straight powerful. All of a sudden,
yeah. What you supposed to do when your grandma wants some? What you supposed to do when your grandma wants some crack and you can't, and you don't want her to get it from a nigga who you know about to fuck it up? Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, you right. But look, that's why I fuck with the Ghetto Boys, because they got this song where they was talking about that shit. They was talking about the reality of like, he was like, what'd he say? He said the nigga on the corner pushing, what's the song? It's like, do it like a G.O. He said that he said the nigga on the corner pushing crack, but the Puerto Ricans getting rich. Like, we over here getting pinched on the corner, but the Puerto Rican getting rich off of the shit. And he was like, yo, I ain't never push that shit in my life. But if I did, I would be selling that shit for myself. Like, I wouldn't be trapped. If you get what I'm saying. That's where the whole idea of it being called the trap and all that shit came from. So think about this. Like, for me, my conspiracy theory paranoid mind, when I hear some of the Migos songs, I'm like, okay, the Migos are as big as they are because they did sell drugs at some point and they used that money to rap. But think about this. Think about it, bro. Think about it, bro. You could owe a cocaine kingpin that isn't living in another country because he fronted you this and he was connected to this and he was connected to that person and this the person you owe money to. And they're gonna allow you to rap as much as you need to because you gotta pay that debt, bro. It's like, and then you gotta name yourself Migos because you fucking owe the Mexicans, nigga. You owe the Migos, nigga.
Bro, I need to, like, pay attention here. What you're saying is Migos only came about, like, they didn't, like, they weren't supposed to.
I'm not saying nothing like that. What I'm saying is this. That all they rapped about was, in the beginning, was selling cocaine and being in the trap and doing this and that. They got famous doing it. So them getting famous, like I said, I felt like through hearing a few of their songs, it sounded like these dudes are protected only because they owe somebody powerful. And they owe these people through drug ties.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, if I fronted you the money, right? Think about being a real kingpin in Mexico or Tijuana somewhere, and you selling whatever you selling to these Negroes, these black people back in them days, right? You selling this whatever to these Negroes. These Negroes selling it or whatever, but they fuck around and blow up because they rapping off of it. You ain't gonna want none of that money?
Yeah. No, I don't, but I ever said.
But these dudes would, and at the same time, these dudes can kill you at any moment, so you're gonna keep making these songs and you're gonna pay them whatever they ask for. And then if they decide, you know what I mean, that you this, that, and it's like, my nigga, yeah, Migos, we're the Migos. We're not gonna, you know what I mean, like, make y'all upset. Like, we're gonna please y'all. And it's like, I've heard the Migos rapping songs where they warn younger street dudes, and they like, yo, you know what I mean? Make sure you pay your plug back, because if you don't, he gonna come get that. It's certain songs they drop little subliminal.
I think I've heard that message before.
But in my subconscious little, you know, like I said, my Alex Jones little conspiracy connecting dots mind.
Was Alex Jones?
Alex Jones was a conspiracy theorist. That's all I'm saying. In my little conspiracy mind, sometimes I connect dots that don't need to be connected, and sometimes I feel like, oh, this is why these dudes are so protected. This is why everybody is scared to fuck with the Migos. Because if you do, you're fucking with the mafia's money. You're fucking with real cocaine families.
When Migos came out, they just seemed like blow the fuck up. Like, yo, out like nowhere.
But think about the money you could have behind you if you sold cocaine and then these people realize that rap is the new cocaine.
But bro, like, man, you can't knock the Migos when they
I ain't knocking nothing. I ain't knocking shit. I'm just
no, and you not like I'm not putting nothing on nothing. But what I'm saying is like, yo,
theorist, bro. I'm just being
it's always conspiracy, but like, yo, when music came out, yo, the hits like shit, like bangers, like damn, these cats are like doing something.
Hell yeah, but that's what happened when you owe a Mexican. And then they fucking come get you, and they say, "Yo, sit down and fucking record, bitch."
When they owe who they owe nothing, who to what. They deliver a new flow and
Sit
style.
Sit your ass down and record. And we're going to help you make this song millions of dollars because you owe us millions of dollars. Sit your ass fucking down and you going to record, nigga.
Conspiracy theory aside, they came out like, yo, they had like a really great new style. Yo, bro. Like,
all right, fuck all that.
I won't be on the jock. I'm just saying.
Fuck all that. I'm not dissing or nothing. I'm not saying this is even true. This is all alleged. This is all my mind. This is all me thinking just a bunch of money. But think about this. Think about this. Think about if you ain't have the quote unquote talent that the Migos have. Think about you was just selling drugs, and you had a connect from overseas. Or whatever you want to call it, another country, a legit connection to a cocaine business, a cocaine family, a family who've been doing this for generations, right? And they gave you a certain amount of cocaine and you pushed it as far as you could, but then you also started rapping and you got famous off of it. Do you believe that you would owe these people some money, especially if you got famous off of rapping about selling cocaine?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah. To answer your question, yeah.
So, would you then name your group the Migos?
Nah, man.
You might have to if they fucking told you to.
Bro, I mean, I get where you're, man.
Bro,
I mean,
all right, let me stop because I'm gonna get killed just talking about this.
Nah, you ain't gonna kill, but no, hey, bro, your theory sounds really, really good. I mean, damn.
It's just a theory, bro. It's just a thought. It's like, okay, it's certain shit. I don't even know if these niggas wanted to push that shit. But they gotta push what they can push. But then you watch these people, then you watch them get famous, and then they try to leverage their fame into other things. They don't want to rap sometimes. They don't want to do this, and they don't want to do that.
Before you get Migos Hitman, come out to or, you know what I'm saying? Because you are murder. By the way, I love you, brother. I love you. But man, you gotta get some real heat to get on you. Just send that Hitman.
But think about this though. think about the idea, right? That even if that's not what you want to do, you can get famous to the point where it's like, okay, I'm so famous that if somebody did kill me, it would be too much investigation. So now I'm kind of safe. Now I'm a pop star at this point to the world. So I can't. So I'm a little bit free from that, and then I still owe them money, so I pay them whatever I owe them. They gonna take their cut or whatever on some mafia shit. But at the same time, this is what I'm saying. So when people have beef with the Migos, when people come up and they have beef with the Migos, you notice that shit dies instantly. They don't die instantly because of these three dudes that people scared of. No, it dies because the people who are making money off of these three people are way more powerful and will, like you said, send that hit squad at any moment, and nobody's going to give a fuck about you. Nobody's going to know what happened. There's going to be nothing, no recollection or record of of this incident. So the reality is what's going on. If you are put in that position, you're going to leverage your fame to get out of that. So you find these dudes trying to make.
Hey. Sorry to cut you off. I'll put a Santana record on, by the way, if you don't mind.
No, let's. I was about to say let's change the vibe a little bit because I ain't trying to.
No. If you don't mind, man, bro. You know me. I love going to the stores to get vintage records. There's a Santana record I got. I don't mean to play. I'm not sure if I like this first track. What do you think?
You know I love it.
It's a little shaftish, 70s. Next track,
cocaine music.
Let's go to the next track. That goes. I mean, man, you can't go wrong with Santana any track, but let's go to the next track. Let's see. Yeah, that's me go. I'm looking for a little more guitar. There we go.
That's the white dude in you, the Italian.
yeah. Man, you go to the Dave Chappelle skit.
I'm being funny.
No, bro, you hit the joke, man. That's funny shit. Yeah. You know I'm not a John Mayer fan. Yeah, maybe John Mayer. Here we go. Oh, it's good Santana. Here we go. Woo! I'm gonna pay $4 for a second. Yes, sir. Okay. Man, that sounds good. That's clean. Yes, sir. Man, that's nice. I'll put it down a little more. Man, what do you think about that, man? I'm gonna turn up a little more. Man, hold on, this is kind of cranky. Woo!
See, I need this in my movie. When I do my movie, I want these type of tracks.
Bro, I got you. Oh my gosh. Oh! Maybe this is fire.
I need songs like this from during that scene when I first get high for the first time.
Oh, bro, it's on vinyl. This vinyl's clean. Woo! Man, Santana. Woo! I don't know what year this is. I'm gonna be yes, sir. Definitely got the California vibe. Let's go to the next track. That track was fire. You ready for the next one?
Hell yeah.
Let's go. Okay. I like the build-up. Nice. Bro. Woo. Man, this is a great album I just picked up, bro. I'm happy about this. This should be like a podcast segment. Thrifting or just, vinyl collecting is pretty high right now, so getting back in. Man, I got this Santana record.
I was gonna say this should be fly for my radio station. I'm starting a radio station too, so.
Bro, I got this record for $5.
The problem is on the podcast, they just gonna fucking copyright me.
Well, I get it, bro. Man. Whoa! I got this Santana for $5. This is a great Santana record. Damn! Oh, good God. Man, bro, I'm just gonna finish this time right now.
I was gonna say, we can end it and then we can jam out when we're done.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the show for now because I like to enjoy the conversation.
Look though, all I was saying is that, like I said, there's a lot of rappers, there's a lot of creators, there's a lot of people and celebrities who have money behind them, and they're lying to the public, bro. And they're feeding that fatalistic mentality that a lot of people have, that this is just what it is. There's nothing really good going on. There's no way to rise above whatever's happening. So you should just give in to the darkness.
Right.
And that's the business model of modern society. If you can come out with a company that keeps people wanting and wishing, meanwhile profiting off of those actions that and decisions they make out of wanting and wishing, then you will be set for life, bro. And you don't never gotta tell these people the truth.
Bro, man, right, I'm glad you segued to like something more spiritual.
Yeah.
I got King James Bible. I started reading Matthew. I'm at
King
Matthew.
James. You on your Coke talk? King James.
No.
So now I'm fucking with you.
No, I'm not Coke, bro. I'm just a little tipsy. I'm
fucking
drinking.
with you. I'm fucking with you. But James is funny because they pronounce the J like an H.
No, my nose is stuffed up. All right, here we go. I'm on Matthew, bro. It's beautiful. This is the first time I've read the King James Bible. And man, I finally got through Matthew 8:15. But man, all right, Ryan, I want to ask you a few questions because quite a few very faithful Christians lately have told me the only way to my salvation is to know the true word of the Lord. It's got to be the authorized King James Bible, which I have. And the question, there's a few passages that confuse me, but there's one I wanted to ask you about, like the Lord's Prayer in Matthew. The Lord's Prayer, I've never seen this Lord's Prayer before. I'm like, okay, I need to know what's the true Lord's Prayer. But I have in my Bible, the King James version, if you have a quick second to hear me, right?
I'm listening.
All right, Matthew 9. It says, this is the red gospel, so this is the red letter. After this manner, therefore pray ye, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
That's it. That's the key line right there. As it is in heaven.
Man, did I say it right?
Yeah, you did. I mean, I know that by heart. You know what I mean?
All right. So that will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and this is what
forgive us our trespasses.
No, bro. This Bible
as we forgive those who trespass against us.
Right.
And lead us not into temptation.
Right, let me finish.
Yet deliver us from evil. For thou is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever.
Bro. I don't know about the right version. Let me finish, please.
I'm fucking around. My bad.
I know you fucking around. Lord, here we go, right? This is the Bible I have. I thought this was a really good version. There's a few like passages in this joint. I don't know if this is like a devil Bible. You know what I'm saying? When them Bibles it tries to twist you. Am I like conspiracy about Bibles? I don't know. Here we go. But Ryan, I'm gonna say the Lord's Prayer in this Bible one more time. This is authorized King James Bible, dictionary concordance. It's a white zipper jacket. Like you can zip it up. It's got like a metal cross. Like you know what I'm saying. This is an official Bible. But here we go. This is the Lord's Prayer, which I don't understand it. I'll say it one more time. Ronnie, please hear me. After this manner, therefore pray ye, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power
and the glory
and the glory forever. Amen. But Ronnie,
you ain't got no blasphemous version. You got the old school version. Is what I call it. It's like
I never heard. Like, hold on, debtors.
See, but when I went to churches.
Trespass.
I went to a lot of churches in the South.
Debts, as we forget our debtors.
Yeah, listen though. I went to a lot of churches in the South. I'm talking about churches where it's like we in a basement and it's hot and the roof is like right there. You can touch the roof and you a child. So the churches out there, that's the version they read, and that's the version
debtors.
Debtors, and they say it in a country accent. So for me, I've always felt both reasons. Like, I get why the translations are there. I get why people translate shit.
But this is a true word of God, though.
For me, though, the reason I fucked with, well, let me not say fucked with, but the reason I like these versions better is because it's way more honest about the reality and the darkness of humanity, meanwhile pursuing godliness. So in those other versions, they want you to feel way more comfortable. So forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Trespass? Are you saying that they didn't know what they was doing when they walked on our turf and did what they did wrong? No. Yeah. So forgive the people who owe us. Because in our human mind, we believe that somebody could be in debt to us. And that's a false way to think. It's a sick way to think. And then to take that out of you is a powerful thing. Sometimes, like the King James Version's importance in this power is the fact that it tells you your place way more clearer than another version, because another version makes you feel like you're okay as you are.
Can I ask you a really quick? I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you ain't cutting.
I really am. I want to ask your opinion on one more passage.
Go ahead.
There's another passage is really is powerful to me, and man, I'm just reading the
I want you to
King
reflect
James.
on that debtors thing, because you was about to say something that you had never heard. You said you never heard it that way before. I remember the first time I heard it that way.
I've never heard that way before. I mean,
I was uncomfortable the first time I heard it that way.
I haven't had my confirmation. Went to a Holy Communion. It was at a very Christian church in Silver Springs, Tacoma Park, and man, as many times I've said our Father's Prayer, I've never heard her said that way. It's always been trespasses.
Did it make you uncomfortable a little bit?
It does a little bit. Like, I don't know, like.
But that's my point. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's a
Well, in the sense of, the only sense it makes me uncomfortable is, from what I've been taught, is the devil tricks us, and like the only way to our salvation is we need to know like the true word of God. So like everybody
now you're starting to see why
everybody wants to know like what is the truth, right?
Yeah.
Because like the truth of God is the way to salvation. So it's like. And we know that the devil is very powerful. The devil can trick us. So it's like the devil can like easily insert like through like.
And he has over time. He's added. The devil has edited the Bible. That's the reality of it.
Yes, that's the reality. So it's like, man, like I don't want to have anxiety about it. Like, damn, Lord forgive me. That going like.
But it's something about that version for me. Like I said, it admits the faults of humanity while it's proclaiming God's glory.
I mean, to me, like, debts, and forgive us our debts as we forgive debtors.
It's not saying that anybody. Bro, it's not next. When I hear it,
that is the false passage, because like God and the angels in kingdom, nobody cares about like only humans' greed and our.
But that's his point. That's the whole point of it. Think about that. Think about what you just said.
Debtors, like,
listen, bro. Think about what you just said.
In heaven.
Are you hearing me?
It's silly.
Are you hearing me?
Please, let me retract.
Are you hearing me?
Please. What are you saying?
Are you hearing me?
I'm not, but I need.
No, are you hearing me now in this moment?
I'm hearing you now. Yes.
Okay. So think about what you just said. There's no debts in heaven. There's no this and that. That's the whole point of the damn prayer, bro. in that version of the Bible, they spoke to you.
That makes sense.
In your how you think as a human.
Debts, you're a debtor because there's no debts in heaven. Okay,
exactly. That's
sense.
Why we need to be forgiving these people, because it's not real. It's a fallacy that we built for ourselves, but it spoke to us in such a way.
We built a material economy based on like what we need.
Listen, bro. Listen.
What God has for us is way greater.
No, you're right. But listen to what I'm saying about the two versions. Listen to what I'm saying about the two versions of the Bible.
Okay.
And I'm only talking about two versions because if you know that these two versions are very different in these two ways, then you don't need to read any other version but the King James. So the King James for me, and when I first heard that the first time, I was uncomfortable because I was like, debt. Why are they talking about debt? And we in church right now. And then after I lived with the reality of what they were saying for a while, I said, okay, this version of the Bible speaks to the corruption of humanity.
Yeah.
And it's trying to help us walk the path out of that darkness.
Yeah.
So
that
they speak to us on our level. They speak to the sickness of us instead of telling us, "Yo, they're just trespassers." And forgive those who trespass. Like somebody just walked across a line and all of a sudden they on the darkness, they in evil and they dark. No, that's not how it goes. We know what's going on. We decide to live a certain way based on a fallacy. So if you are teaching somebody, it's the same with the fish. Same with teaching somebody how to fish and then teaching them how to, and then like giving them a fish. Like if you teach somebody how to fish, they can eat and feed their family for a long time. But if you just feed somebody fish, they will just always have to come back for more. The reality is that version of the Bible that wording, that putting of the Bible in that scripture is teaching you how to fish. Because it's showing you think that somebody owes you right now. And you think that you owe somebody. And that's both wrong.
Damn, bro, it's deep.
But if I didn't put it that way, you would never look at it like that.
Bro, it's deep.
So I have to say it. I have to say it.
Spiritual feelings, they're spiritual as light. Like this, there's no...
Think about this though. Think about what I'm saying about the Bible, not the spiritual, not even what. Forget what the scripture means right now. Forget that part of it. Just how I word it. Because if I worded it differently, you wouldn't take it as how I'm saying. You wouldn't even be.
Yeah, you're right.
The offense wouldn't be there, and the offense. Think about the offense wouldn't be there, and the offense comes from the conviction that I'm telling you the truth. And that's the thing about telling somebody the truth. Telling somebody the truth comes with conviction. And if you're reading a Bible that doesn't convict you, then you're reading a bunch of lies.
Okay.
You got to read something that's going to make you feel like you are wrong at some point. Because if you read it, the King James Version is speaking to a darker world than the one that we live in right now.
Bro, I got to be honest, man. I'm reading it and damn, Lord forgive me. Daggone. Woo. I'm really taking a much harder look at myself after I
was gonna say, even saying daggone and Lord forgive me, that ain't gonna do nothing, because the reality is you was about to say goddamn or whatever you was about to say. You was about to say the Lord's name in vain. There's no replacing your heart and your. There's no replacing your heart and your thoughts. So think about what I'm saying, though. Think about
my word is reckless, and like I never realized as I studied more and realized the word is flesh. God made word flesh.
But the word, where does the word come from? The mind, right?
The word is the mind, but like I think
think about what I'm saying, though, bro. Before you even say something,
I just feel so bad. But like,
yeah, whatever. Fuck all that. Fuck all that. It don't matter because God. Because God is good. God is good. God is good at the end of the day. So even if you swear, God is good. So think about what I'm saying.
Even if I swear God is good?
Even if you swear God is good. So when you say, yo...
I swear too much, man.
Yeah, but whatever. God is still good. So when you say, yo, God forgive me, and then you say something, the reality is whatever you are talking about already happened. Listen. It already happened. It already happened in your mind. You are on a path to becoming more godlike, and that's all that a Christian is. Somebody who's trying to become godlike, and somebody who. Can you listen to what I'm saying, bro? Can you let me finish?
Please continue. Please.
So forget the idea that you feel guilty and all of that shit, because it don't really matter to the reality that you already did what you did, and it's already forgiven by somebody who knows that they know better, and that they're working with you to become closer to them. So if I'm working with you, Dale, to become closer to me, and you offend me, does it really offend me? Not saying it's okay, but you alone having the conviction to know that what you're saying needs to be corrected, to know that what you're saying is offending me. That is the power, because the power comes from how that's the power of words. You see what I'm saying? That is the power. Okay, don't dwell on the fact that you might have said something the wrong way.
Don't dwell I said the wrong thing.
Indulge in
the word.
Indulge in what you should be saying and how you should be speaking. Because the reality is, the more honest you are as a Christian or a follower of God, the more successful you will be as a Christian or a follower of God. The closer you will be to God, the more honest you are about where you are. Because too many people come to God and they think that they need to front for him and lie and perform like they're better than who they are, and God doesn't want nothing to do with them people.
Doesn't know them.
He don't know you because you're fucking faking. You're telling him, yo, Lord, forgive me, but yo, I'm going to say this and I'm going to remix it, but it's the same shit. But I'm gonna just say it differently, so you think I'm talking good for you. Like, man, that ain't real. Be real, but when you can be quote unquote perfect, bro, be perfect.
Bro, we're in a world, I was not judgmental, full of hypocrites and of not faithful. I need to work. I'm working on myself, and I'm in that category.
You talking about you talking about that scripture where he was like, "Yo, ye of little faith." Yeah.
Bro, I mean, King James Bible, bro. Like what Jesus our Savior, like, man, it's powerful. It's very powerful.
It's powerful, but I don't want you to take it and think that tomorrow you're supposed to say every sentence in a certain way that's going to be.
No. I'm not taking away.
Because at the end of the day, you have better chances being straight up and honest with God and talking to him as you are than you do trying to interpret and trying to perform. Like I said, it's a performance.
You told us to me.
It's a performance.
Based on Lost. Lost is my favorite show. That's why I love Lost. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I feel like Lost, that's what it's really about. You know?
But that's the reality of it, because the devil knows your heart just like God does. So you can act all day, but the devil knows what you meant, and you said the same shit. You just use different words. I don't mean nothing. Like if I wanted to say "oh shit," but I said "oh shiznit," I'm still saying "oh shit." I'm just saying shiznit.
Fuck yeah.
So it takes a full transformation, and to be on the path to that full transformation means that you have to be aware that you need to transform and aware of your wrongdoings. God still loves you through all of that. God is love. So it's nothing that you need to do for him to perform for him, to show him that, yo, I didn't mean this, but I'm going to say it. Like, no, either say it or don't say it. And when you say it, he still loves you either way.
It's white.
You don't need to. God is not a God. Like, the thing about God is that you don't.
God wants to be their best or strongest.
No, he don't. That's not the reality. The reality is God wants you, period. It's the same. It's a father and it's a child and a dad. It's a parental relationship. You love your child no matter what they do.
So God wants me the same way like my dad wanted me.
Exactly. You could have disappointed him on every front, and he still would love you and want the best for you.
Damn.
So that's the reality of it, and I feel like too many people forget that God is beyond these human ways that we think. So it's not for us to perform for God, because that's almost worse than just being honest with him. You rather, like, if I was God, I would rather you just come to me and curse instead of you trying to edit your voice, because I know for a fact that you're going to get to a point where you don't curse.
I love my mom and dad, but man, our parents disappoint us all the time. But man, we never experienced God's true love.
God is the perfect parent.
Yeah,
he's the one perfect parent. So there's a lot of parents on the earth, but you see what I'm saying? Every time I say certain words, people think about what humans do. And God is nothing human, bro. It has nothing to do with humanity and our fleshly tendencies and our issues that we all carry and bring and afflict each other with.
I've always believed that. I mean, like, bro, we're weak. We're like, we act
exactly.
Like we act so like important, but like, man, we are like so primitive.
So tell me so if you know that, then what is the point of saying, yo, God forgive me, but anything? Because he already knows what you was about to say before you said that.
Yeah, man, that's a good point.
You are better off just talking to him as you are, being candid about who you are, where you are, so that you can move past that. And you have to have faith, and you have to trust whatever he says after that. You can't, like, I feel like as humans, it's a human instinct to try to dictate something. And we feel powerful, like you said.
Dictate.
We feel powerful when we aren't.
That's the key word, bro. Like, man, we all are failing. Like as a society, man, bro, I don't want to get, like, stretch on topic or get like metaphysical here, but like with the advent, that's not the right word. But with the internet, I say a really old man now. With the internet, with the ability for youth, adults, everybody in the world to connect and access information with the internet. Okay. I think in the last 10 years, things have gotten a little wonky, and exponentially, things have gone crazy with mental health. And I just want to comment, like, social work, social media. There's a lot of, like, great positive, like, avenues of, like, people, like, folks of different, like, mental health issues. Individuals who struggle, who've been able to, like, garner different communities to be able to grow. And bro, I'm drunk as shit. If we're recording, you have to edit out this and my discussion. But what I'm saying is, social media is great to help certain resources connect. But I always knew in, like, late 90s and like 2000 when it came out.
Social media is the devil.
It's the devil. Yeah, it's the devil. When it came out, I was like, okay,
but that's the thing about the devil and God.
This is
but think about this, though. Think about the devil and God.
Wow. When Aaron came out, I was like, yep, this is the devil.
But think about the devil and God. So, like, God can be used for nothing but good and love and this, that, and the third. The devil can use whatever he wants in our human domain to do evil and practice out whatever his desires are.
Right.
But the only problem is God is God at the end of the day. So it's on us to do the work that we can to stay connected to the truth. Because no matter what, if you're connected to the truth, then you will always be convicted when you hear a lie. So when you fall far from the truth, lies become more appealing to you. So it's certain things. It's like the idea. It's like the. But think about this. It's like the idea of John Locke, right? If we were talking about religion, John Locke would be the most devout Christian on that island, because no matter what he saw, no matter what evil he faced, he always knew. It's not about saying and believing and thinking. It's about knowing that God.
He believed.
It's not about believing. He didn't believe anything. He knew.
He knew. He didn't believe. He knew.
The reason he knew is because he experienced God.
You're right.
Before everybody else did on that island.
Yeah. There was a moment. I forget.
It's because he came there on a wheelchair, and the whole time he was on that island, he was walking around on 2 feet. So he knew.
That was it.
He knew what was going on.
That was it.
That's what made him so devout.
Huh.
These other people didn't have faith because they had no reason to have faith, and it's because they had an experience and they didn't make themselves available for that experience because they were clinging to a lie.
Oh, bro, that's it. That's
people
deep.
were on that island lying about things that didn't even matter, bro. That didn't even matter on that island.
And he was the only one like hanging on to a belief.
It might be a belief to somebody on the outside looking in, but he knew what was going on.
Bro, it's a great depiction. You know, even Jack, who's a doctor, he was doubting like left and right.
Yeah, because he had been so
traumatized.
Not even just traumatized. This is the thing about humanity. When we are big on pride and ego. So if we decide something and we ride for that thing that we decided for, and then we hear somebody telling us that thing that we rided or decided for, we should not ride or decide for that thing, our ego and pride will kick in, and it will defend that thing no matter whether we know everything we need to know, whether we...
Good point.
Exactly. So John Locke, not John Locke, but Jack, him seeing things and him seeing miracles and him seeing God and faith in things that were not scientific before his eyes convicted him. And his choice was always to combat it because he was so hell-bent on his pride and his ego and not being wrong. And that came from, of course, that comes from his trauma, but who is the greatest healer of trauma but God? So if he believed or knew, not fuck belief, if he knew, just like John Locke knew, that God was the only one true healer, he would have anything John Locke said on that island, especially in the beginning, Jack would have went with it. But there was times in that show that John knew he had to let Jack believe what he wanted to believe in order for him to feel convicted and come to God on his own.
True.
See, you can't play God. And that's the whole thing on this earth that we do 24/7 is try to sit in the driver's seat and drive and dictate and control. And when we can't.
Bro, talk about, you know how much I know about that. I'm not the one to play God.
That's why I like that version of the Bible, bro, because it tells you that you can't. In the same way that you will be sitting there reading it thinking like, yeah, and then it smacks you into a wall and you're like, okay, I was wrong. That's why I was saying everything that I was saying, because if it went, but think about it, if it went straight against you, or if it went too concurrent with you, you wouldn't believe it either way.
So what are you mentioning?
I'm saying if the Bible said everything you wanted to hear about think about the terminology. You had an issue with the term debtors and debt. That is a human instinct to have an issue with that reality, those wording. But if I didn't put it that way, what would make you feel convicted about thinking that way? What would make you feel like thinking that way was a problem?
Well, no, bro. It's just like a weird, like OCD, like.
It's not weird or OCD. It's the devil.
Oh, it's the devil. No, it's like,
no, the devil wants you to be comfortable as you are.
Oh, so the devil wants.
The devil wants you to hear what you want to hear nice things. He wants you to feel like God is going to talk to you nicely, and he's going to tell you that everything you're doing is fine. That's what the devil does. That's what the devil does. He makes you feel like you don't need to change.
Bro, okay. What you're saying is uncertainty in the word is what the devil wants, and God's like, bro, if you just believe in me, like.
See, but it's not that simple. What I'm saying is this. Listen to what I'm saying. I know you've been drinking or whatever, but I want you to really listen and just kind of forget everything period that we've been talking about. Just focus on the words that I'm about to say right now. What I'm about to say is this. God, He wrote the word, right? A certain way. Man has come and we've translated it. We've turned it into this. We've done our part in our minds to help other people understand God. So think about the reality about what you were saying earlier about how people are ignorant and how we think that we're doing this, but we're really making things worse. We think we're doing things good and we're really doing things bad. And then we have even taken it upon ourselves to edit God's word. To thinking we helping God.
I'm following you.
So when you read a version that is allegedly unedited and is supposed to be supposedly straight from God, and he says debt and debtors, forgive our debtors.
Is
and
it the original version? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying, as a human being, that's the closest thing to an original version that I can get. I don't have the tablets and the scrolls. You see what I'm saying?
No, but you know what? I hear what you're saying. I hear your point. And you know what? I like the version.
Just listen to what I'm saying. I ain't even get to the point yet.
Please continue.
My point of it is, when you hear debt and debtors, you're uncomfortable. But the reason you're uncomfortable is a reason unbeknownst to you. You have a pride and you have a ego and you have a quote unquote false morality that makes you feel like, yo, why is God talking like debt and debtors if it ain't no da-da-da-da-da? Bro, you're not better than you think you are. The problem is that is how you think. You do think that people owe you. And you do think that you owe people.
That's not the problem.
And for me to get to that point means that I'm the only one true God. I'm the only one true person that can save you because I will talk to you in reality. How you think.
Bro. Damn, that's deep, man.
You see what I'm saying? But then there's versions where they say, forgive our trespassers and forgive those who trespass against us. Doesn't that sound more like a devil talking than a fucking God? Because it's trying to make you comfortable with who you are as it is when you're reading this to try to get closer to being more like God instead of being so sinful.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
And that's why it's so important to read an original version of something, because if you can't, you're always going to have to fight the devil and God at the goddamn same damn time.
Once it's comfortable, God
ain't big on you being comfortable in sin. Why would he want you to be comfortable with?
We gotta fight. We gotta fight to be close to God. We gotta fight to get there, right?
You know, it's not a fight. But what I'm saying is, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. Don't think about it. Just listen. If I'm telling you that, okay, dude, hey, yo, what you doing? Yo, that is wrong, bro. Like, you got to do better.
Right.
Are you gonna listen to me unless I say I knew the ins and outs of everything you was doing, and I said everything that you was doing to how you thought about what you was doing? if I talked to you how you thought about what you was doing, and then at the end I said, yo, that's wrong, you would think about it way different than a dude who you feel like he don't get it. So there's versions of this Bible where it's like, yo, my dude, hey, yo, you just trying to be a person out here. You just trying to get by, bro. And you not making it fully. So let me help you. And I'm going to tell you, yo, you just need to fix this. You just need to fix that. In a certain version of the Bible, bro, God is like, yo, you are not of me. Get your shit together, period. Blank. That feeling of discomfort invokes a true change.
I know now of you. That's the version of
but
God.
that invokes
I do not know you. I do not
but
know
that
you.
That invokes a true change more so than somebody telling you, yo, you just need to tweak this and you just need to tweak that.
Right,
you'll be sitting there tweaking this and that forever, bro.
That passion is a broken change.
Listen though, you would just, if somebody just said, yo, you just need to fix this one little thing, you just need to tweak this here, you need to tweak that and you'll be fine. Bro, you'll be tweaking shit forever. You'll never actually reach anything. This version of the Bible is like, yo, I'm going to get to the point. I'm not going to leave no comfort for sin. I don't want nobody feeling like, yo, I'm on my path. It ain't a path, it's a choice. And God gonna let you know that it's a path and it's not no path, it's a choice every 2 seconds he can, because the reality is, my dude, you in war, whether you want to believe it, know it, or not. That's what it is. And I'm gonna talk to you straight. Think about if you was in war right now and somebody said, yo, if you help out this person, yo, it ain't gonna be good for us. But listen, bro. Listen. Think about if you was in war, you overseas, and the quote unquote enemy is dressed a certain way, and you looking at somebody dressed that way, and you feel like they need help, and you reading something that's supposed to be a manual on how to move and how to win this war. What you're reading to how to win this war is telling you, hey, yo, you can help some people. You know what I mean? You can do this and you can do that. It's not totally good for us. You know what I mean? But it ain't totally bad because you feel good doing it. No. Okay. Then there's another manual that you can read and it say, yo, don't even talk to those people. Who you think gonna win the war first? The people who sit around pitter paddling with the whole thing and sitting around doing this and that and sinning and worshiping at the same time, or you think what's gonna get through to these people faster? The motherfucker who's like, yo, don't even fuck with him. Period. Mm-hmm. The problem is when God say don't fuck with something, the human in us and the sin in us still wants to do it.
Pandora's box.
So we rather listen to somebody who's going to tell us we can still do wrong and still get to heaven.
Huh.
So there's many versions of this manual that you can listen to that's going to make you feel like you don't need to really change, that you only need to tweak this and you only need to do that, and it's not that bad. It's just this, it's just that. And then there's a version that's going to be like, yo, you're wrong. Period.
Okay.
The conviction you feel in that moment that's God weeding out the real from the fake. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Because if you had an army and there was a war going on, you wouldn't want nobody in your army that would rather hear you talk to them nicely. Right. You would want to hear me talk to you straight up, period. This is what it is. And this is what I need from you. And this is what you're supposed to fucking do, period. And if you don't do it, you against us. If you're not working for us, you against us. You wouldn't want somebody on your team who's going to fucking play games.
Damn.
So,
the part of the games in Bible, right? Like, hey, Frankie, you know me, I'm a pacifist. I'm not a fighter.
Right.
There's parts of this, man, as much as I like to try to be, I'm not a Mr. Me Too. Man, I'm not afraid to fucking stand up against nothing.
Yeah.
But Shit.
Like, come on, debt and debtors. Like, really? The idea that you think that people owe you and the idea that you think you owe people, that is a problem you can see yourself as a human on this earth. That we all suffer with. And it's worded that way to speak to your ignorance. It's not worded that way to what you think is the devil that worded it that way?
I don't know. I mean,
exactly. But that's my point. Because the devil wouldn't word something that way that would actually offend you. He would word it a way that would make you feel okay with everything you're reading.
That actually makes sense. What you just said, actually, that last statement.
You see what I'm saying? He wouldn't want you to feel no conviction about nothing you doing.
So I mean, based upon like
God is not here for you to feel comfortable.
Okay.
Because it's not about you feeling comfortable. It's about his glory. And that's why people really have issues being Christians, because they think they signing up for some shit that they can do part-time. And it's not a part-time thing.
The only reason we are separated from God's glory. Like, we're all on this existence. We are separated from God's glory. Adam and Eve, they sinned. They're cast out. And we're all separated from God's glory. Right? So, man, I forgot where I was going at this point, but bro, man, I was about to make a really profound point, but I lost it.
What were you saying? Were you talking about the reality that, like, when I said God wasn't here for you to be comfortable? What were you saying?
There you go. God was interviewed comfortable. So, like, Adam and Eve were comfortable in Eden.
Yeah, we chose discomfort. You see what I'm saying?
And when they were cast out, they chose sin. Excuse me. That was when they chose to, like, clothe themselves. To, like,
no, they not only did they choose to clothe themselves, they chose to one, listen to somebody other than God. That's the first thing they chose to do. And the second thing they chose to do was lie to God and try to hide what they did, right?
They lied to God?
Yeah. Do you don't know that Adam and Eve hid from God in the garden? And then he found them and said, yo, you're naked. Why do you even... They said, yo, God, my bad. We're hiding because we're naked. And he said, how do you fucking know that you're naked? You shouldn't even know that you're naked.
I don't know this much story.
You ain't never read Genesis?
Well, no.
My dude. A lot of people on Earth freestyle this Garden of Eden story like they know it. And the reality is, there's a lot of shit that they did wrong in that fucking garden.
Okay.
So if you bite the apple, that's one thing, because God said don't bite the apple. But before you bit the apple, who convinced you to bite the apple? You say that Satan or a serpent convinced you to bite the apple. So if you say a snake slithered up to you and talked to you and said, yo, do what God said don't do, and you did it, you don't think that's your first mistake?
Yeah.
That's your first mistake, is listening to somebody other than God.
Yeah.
So you wasn't satisfied to begin with. You already went against perfection because you had everything you needed, but you wanted some more. And the greed and all of that leads to you wanting to be God.
That is it.
Yeah, and he told you that tree is the knowledge of good and evil. And him being a loving father is, I don't need you to know about that, because if you don't know about that, then you can sit here and live in peace and harmony forever without ever knowing about that. But if you decide that you want to know about that, you're going to have to deal with everything that comes with knowing about good and evil.
Bro, but you mean there's a lot of demons, names I don't like to say, but like hubris. Hubris is like the most powerful one.
Exactly. And hubris is the same shit they got that Lucifer kicked out of heaven.
Really?
Yeah, that's what made the devil. You don't remember the devil? The devil was, think about the devil, and his name is Lucifer, and he was one of the highest, he was one of God's favorite angels. His body was made of instruments, dude.
What do you mean by that?
If you read the Bible, you'll see what I'm saying.
Okay.
God designed Lucifer. He was an angel in heaven, and he was in charge of music in heaven.
What?
He was in charge of praise and worship in heaven. His body was designed to play music. His body alone was a trumpet, was a drum, was a everything you needed to sound perfect musically. That's who Lucifer was. Yes.
Oh, you're blowing my mind. Is this?
God built some angel so that he could play music in heaven for all eternity.
Oh my gosh, that's so deep, bro.
And the same thing got to him, which was hubris. And when he wanted more than what he was blessed with, he fell from grace. He got kicked out of heaven. He got kicked down to heaven. This is all before Adam and Eve bit the apple.
Huh.
He got cast into a lizard. God then took the arms off of this lizard so that he could suffer for what he did in heaven. So not only, yeah, that's when God created a snake. Yes, God created a snake.
Huh.
It was a lizard that he casted him into. And then he took the arms so that he would have a reminder consistently everywhere he went on earth. He would have to remember the reason that I'm in this situation is because of my fucking hubris. Like this is the God that we're dealing with. We're not dealing with no God that's like, oh, for play.
Bro, I mean, I love our God. I'm not like I you know.
He took his arms. So look at that. He took his arms, right?
I've always lived my childhood, my life, and even adult is like a happy-go-lucky pacifist guy. Like I don't want to hurt anybody. Like I always feel like God will never do anything bad to me.
I mean, God has burned down whole cities, bro. What are you talking about? God has flooded the earth. God has flooded the earth numerous times. So if you want to be a Christian, you want to believe in God, that's what you believe in is the reality that this dude or some dude, I don't even believe it's a dude.
Well considering me
but this entity doesn't tolerate evil, period.
I don't like evil either. So
yeah. But that's my point. It's like you act like you don't like evil, but you tolerate it in certain ways that God wouldn't tolerate it. So look.
Wait, hold on. I don't like it, but I do tolerate it. So that's why they work.
Yeah, the toleration is the same thing, though.
Well, that's why I read the Kiid. Hold on, you help me. Hold on.
I know I'm helping you. I'm preaching right now. Honestly, I should get. This is what dudes preach and get paid for. You know what I mean?
Man, thank you, right? But hold on.
My stepdad is a pastor, bro. I know what the fuck going on.
I'm so scared.
I lived and I was raised by a pastor, bro. I know what the fuck is going on.
All right. Well, I think you know where I'm at right now. I'm at Matthew.
Let's see.
Damn.
Now take your time.
I'm at Matthew.
I do want to finish the story of Adam and Eve.
Please do, but I'm at Matthew. I'm at Matthew 9:10.
I'm gonna say, look through it and find what you were saying. All I was saying was this: God had appointed an angel in heaven, and he was one of his most beloved and most high esteemed angels because he was in charge of the music, and music to God is one of the most important things. God loves music.
Is it really?
Yes, he loves praise and worship. So if you can create, like, music is our highest form of appreciation for God because we get.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why every church plays songs. It's because you have to. How else can you want to go sacrifice a lamb or something?
You know, that makes sense because God created everything, and like musicians, artists.
You using your body. You using all. Listen.
And, like, that's
You
almost like
not even just that.
You're creating a new extension of God, right?
No, you using everything He gave you.
He gave you, yeah,
for His glory. Is the most powerful thing to Him, and music is something that we all can take part in without really trying. So that, and music is the way we're all really connected as humans too. Everything He's connected has a song. Everything He's created, has a song. Birds have a song. Frogs have a song. Animals have a song. Everything has a song and a beat.
God, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Exactly. So He loved this dude because He created him for His purposes, and He served those purposes at the highest form. Of course, I'm sure there was a band in heaven. I'm sure there was a group of people, a choir that sung with Him. But He was His most beloved because He built him specifically only for music.
Bro,
and only.
Do you believe all the rock musicians? Sorry, because I'm so sorry. They died at young age. God loved them, like Jimi Hendrix, James Joplin. They're all like jamming with God right now in heaven right now, right?
They may be dependent. I don't know what they did behind closed doors, so I don't know. But I know that with that talent,
certain musicians are jamming with God right now. It gotta be.
Hey, if they did whatever they had to do that, then I'm sure they are. But my point is not about necessarily musicians or music.
That's beautiful, man.
He created an angel, and their body alone, everything they said, everything they did, they were created to be a song, music, sweet music to His ear.
Get out of here, man.
He was fed up with his job. Imagine being designed.
This is almost as powerful as the word. God created the word.
Imagine being designed to praise God, and you physically are incapable of not doing that, but you get sick of your job. He wanted more. He wanted a different position. He wanted to do other things. He tried to convince other angels to turn against God.
So he created a powerful angel. They can speak to all through music, through inspiration, right?
And this dude tried to convince other angels to turn against God because he was fed up with his position. Hubris is what you said. There was a fourth or a third of angels in heaven that said, "Yo, Lucifer, you know what? You right. Fuck God. You know what? You right. He ain't paying us enough to do this shit."
And you can easily, if you're a powerful musician, you can
convince, right? Exactly. So he used the power that God gave him against God, as we all do.
Yeah, as we all do. God, any gift we have is only given to us from God.
So then God, as a punishment to this angel, He cast him into a reptile, which was a lizard at the moment. He then stripped his legs so that he would have to inch across the earth. And like I said, every inch that he took, he would be reminded that I'm doing this, and it takes this long for me to travel, and I have to do this much work to get far because of what I did.
Oh.
So, once that happened, Adam and Eve were in the garden, and as a what we call a snake in modern times, misery loves company.
Mm-hmm.
You're suffering because of what you did with God, and you're now you've deemed yourself as His adversary, His villain. You're trying to get more people against Him so that you can, in your mind, you're going to use these people to they're going to be your legs for you.
Huh. That makes sense.
So think about somebody who's in the garden now. Now you're a human and you're Adam. And it's just you in the garden in
a weak form, pure form.
Forget all of that. God loves you. You don't want for anything. All your resources, everything you want, everything you need is there for you.
You're in kingdom heaven. You're good.
Everything you need and want is there for you. God, you don't have to ask for anything. And you become lonely because you see animals with companions. You see animals mating. You see two pairs of certain things, and you like, oh, why don't I have somebody? So this is you falling to. This is the same as hubris.
That's what Eve came.
This is exactly what Lucifer did in heaven. He wanted more than what he had, and God gave him everything. So somebody giving you everything, and you still want more. So you have everything in the garden, and you want more, and God says, okay, I'll make someone. Just give me a second. He made somebody. Now that creation says to you, hey, yo, I met a snake in the garden, and he spoke to me, and he told me that God is bullshitting. He told me that the only reason God don't want us to do this and do that is because he don't want to lose his power and he don't want us to be powerful. I bit the apple and the shit tastes good. Ain't nothing happened to me. So that mean that God is on some snake shit. On some sneaky line. He lied to us. It can't, like, he's trying to just control us. But what did God tell them that was in that apple? The knowledge of good and evil. And as long as you don't know what good and evil is, you are in complete bliss. So the devil stole bliss from somebody who was in bliss because he destroyed his bliss. You see what I'm saying?
That's the original cancer.
Exactly. So, you being Adam, for some reason I feel like we wouldn't do this, but I don't know what the pressure was, but he believed her. And I feel like the reason he believed her is because he was lonely before her, because he was by himself and he wanted more. So he was willing to do whatever she said now over what God said because he didn't want to go back to just listening to God and not having nobody with him. You see what I'm saying? Because think if Adam went back to God and was like, yo, she tripping.
Bro, I want to make a crude joke. It was the first time, like, man, so you're just a pussy, like, damn.
But think about Rick and Morty. Think about Rick and Morty. Think about Rick and Morty.
She looks good, like, damn, girl, like, yo. I don't know what she...
Think about Rick and Morty, bro. Think about Rick and Morty. Mr. Meeseeks.
Mr. Meeseeks. Why are you referencing Mr. Meeseeks, by the way? Just
Rick
curious.
was tired of them coming to him for every little thing they needed, right?
Okay.
Because the reality is, let's just talk about it real. The reality is they didn't need for anything. They just wanted more.
True.
Exactly. So they weren't satisfied with his provisions for them. The fact that he made sure they didn't need anything, they weren't satisfied with that. So they needed things to be easier.
Yeah.
So what did he do? He gave them someone who would make it easier.
Okay.
They got it, and ended up basically destroying everything as a result of having that person.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, if say these people say at the first sign of this person doing whatever they wanted that was against what Rick said, they just came to Rick and said, yo, take your little Meeseeks people back. Yo, we good. We don't need them. We good. We don't need that. Like, we thought we did, but we good. Do you think anything would have got destroyed? Do you think it would have even got that far? No. The fear of looking wrong, the pride, the ego, and the infatuation with the easy road with the better life, the grass is greener. Hubris is what made them people keep fucking with these Meeseeks, and then eventually Rick had to come save them all. Still.
Very good point.
So it's the exact same thing. If I ask God, yo, God, can you make me a companion? I'm really lonely. Like, I need somebody here. I know you provide everything for me. I know I don't need to ask for anything, but it's kind of boring without another person. And he made somebody. And then they came to me and said, yo, let's do what God said don't do. The one thing. Not like God said a lot. God said, don't do one thing. And this person came to me and said, yo, let's do that one thing God said don't do. You don't think I'm going to go straight to God and be like, yo, what's wrong with her?
Bro.
But the fear of being wrong, the fear and the pride and the fear of going back to the boredom or the hubris of wanting more, the hunger of wanting something more than what you have is what made him say, yo, I'm going to double down on my decision. I asked for her. Maybe she's right.
I've never begged God before, but like, I don't know.
You can say that all day, but you ain't never been in complete bit. You ain't never been in the garden where you don't.
Nobody's ever been in the garden. Nobody's ever been to Adam.
Exactly, but that's what I was about to say. You ain't never been in a garden where you don't need nothing and don't want for nothing, and you just have everything you need. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? And you still reached a place where you was like, I need something else.
Really?
So, imagine reaching that point and then you deciding, yo, see, but it's like a thread. It's a thread. Once you pull that one thread, the whole thing comes loose. And that's what God was trying to teach Adam. And if Adam had came to him instantly and been like, yo, I get why I was just by myself. Because adding that other layer to it, I don't need nothing more, bro. The fact that I want more is the problem. See, but Adam didn't have that knowledge of, like he said, of good and evil. So Eve was able to convince him that, yo, I bit the apple though. Like, look at me. I bit the apple. Now I know what God is hiding from us.
Can I just say this though? What you say is like we all want more. That's really a problem with society. We all should like want less. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I
don't think we should want period.
We don't want period. Yes, we should want period. I don't want to sound sensitive like people in the world like need more, but like
I'm about to say a need is different from a want. A want has no, like I said, a want is a yearning for something you have no knowledge of. See, when you need something, you know you need it because you've had it before, right? Mm-hmm. And you know that you won't be able to survive without it. That's a need.
Yeah.
A want is some shit you made up in your fucking mind based on what you don't have. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's greed. It's just pure greed.
You're defining it well. I like where you're going.
So, the misery loves company. This snake who can't even use his hands to convince the person who has hands to go against the person who made them and gave them hands because they wanted what they all have in common. They all wanted something more. They were all too curious. Mm-hmm. Curiosity killed the cat.
Yeah.
So draw a line from there, and now that's everything. So now when you read the word of God, it's like, yo, why is he so blunt? I'd rather him talk to me like the snake did. Because the snake told me it was all cool, fine and dandy to go against God. And I could still be good. When in reality, no. That's not the reality. You're going to end up a slave in debt forever to that snake. And he's using you because he fucked up.
Yeah.
He know he fucked up. You don't know he fucked up. You think he here to help you. And why do you think that? Because you're fucking greedy. Because you've had everything you needed for so long that you're willing to listen to somebody who's promising you more.
Yeah. I feel you.
So what's wrong with you? It ain't got nothing to do with God at that point. Why would I sit here and talk to you in a way where it's like, yo, it's all good. You're fine where you are. No, if I say something to you, I want you to feel the discomfort with disobeying me. Because I don't want you to go through certain shit that you don't have to go through from disobeying me.
Yeah.
It's just like a parent. I'd rather scold you than you have to actually go through that thing. That's why I sent my only begotten son down to go through the worst shit ever known to man in your face so that you don't have to go through it and you can just choose me. But you still don't choose me, even though I showed you that I'm willing to give up my only son. Like, what's wrong with y'all?
Yeah.
And it's not no guilt. It's not no guilt that you need to feel.
It's not guilt. We are just like such a wasteful race. Like right now.
But it all comes right back to the reality that, like I said, when we have everything we need, when we have all the resources and all of that, we always want more, bro.
Bro, you're right.
Enough is never enough for us. And us fiending for something else is always going to destroy everything good.
Damn. But you said so fucking powerful as shit.
It's the same idea of a man cheating on his wife. It's the same idea of somebody scamming to get more money at work. It's the same idea of anything in life. Any corner we cut, it comes from us wanting something that we're not willing to work for.
Bro, you hit the nail on the head.
Nah, my bad.
I do got...
Yeah.
You good,
I'm about to say, I'm about to get out of here too, my damn self.
Bro, hey, it was a good chat with you. We'll pick up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Man, bro, I'm a little tipsy.
I'm about to say we got real deep tonight, and I no pause, but it was like that's real shit, and it's like I've never been able to talk to somebody like that and tell them like how it is. And it's because a lot of people, like I said, they choose to believe what they want to believe about everything. So it's nothing you can say to them about reality because they want to hear it how they want to hear it. And I got to tell you how it is. Like the reality is, that's what it is.
You helped me with my spirituality a lot, brother, and I really appreciate it. But
but no, I am getting tired. You know, I got the kids and shit. I got to crash, but
yeah, I know you do. But
yeah.
So, I'm looking for my cell phone right now, but I found it. Man, the funny thing is, like, man, this new cell phone, I have a hard time hanging up on people. Like, not hanging up, but, like, ending calls.
Oh, yeah?
No, I think I figured it out, but... brother, all right,
we can chop it up. I was about to say, we can chop it up tomorrow when we're both in a better state mentally.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We're more alert or whatever. And also, you know what I mean? I do want to go... I want to check out those records with you. So when I'm not like recording or I'm not like doing something, I want to just jam out with you. You know what I mean? Kind of just go through that time warp with you. You know what I mean? And just kind of check out.
Tomorrow in the daytime, man, not nighttime. Tomorrow daytime.
Exactly.
Yeah. And just text me tomorrow. See what I'm up to, man. I'll be around. But I definitely want to share this record collection with you, man. I got some rare records, man. I'm excited to share.
All right, man. Love you, dude.
Love you too, brother.
All right, we're going to talk.
All right.
Peace. That has been another rendition of the Rondo Show podcast. Shout out to Dale. You know, that's what it is. Yeah, I appreciate everyone who listened. Subscribe at KKN Media on YouTube for visuals and video of this episode and more episodes and all of our episodes. Subscribe to KK in Media on SoundCloud. Find us on Spotify at all platforms. The Rondo Show podcast, man. TheRondoshow.Podcast. I love you. Peace.